I do. This is my dog.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Catfish.
Oh,
Catfish. Oh my goodness. Hi. Oh,
he
look.
listened.
Sadie, why don't you tell us about your movie?
My film is called If That Mockingbird Don't Sing. It's my debut feature, which I wrote and directed at 18 years old. It premiered at the 10th Bentonville Film Festival, and it has recently been acquired by Tribeca Films to be released later this year. It's about a 17-year-old girl who gets pregnant right out of high school with her high school boyfriend slash ex's baby, and she decides to keep it to make him come back.
Patrick and I were lucky enough to see Sadie's beautiful, beautiful film at the Roosevelt Film Festival. And
It was so good.
Sadie, the fact that this is your debut film is what an achievement. Tell us a little bit about how this came to you. Like, did you know somebody who went through something similar? Was it based on like a friend? Or did this story just come to you? How did it all come together?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started doing like interviews and stuff about the film, my like nice polished answer is, well, I wanted to empower women and empower myself, and it's about finding yourself and doing something with your life and being independent and exploring and the power of all of that. A lot of the film is about the main girl Sydney's journey with these guys, and thinking that if she attaches herself to these guys, it's going to give her purpose and it's going to give her life structure and meaning and whatever. And which is something that I have experienced and somewhat continue to experience. And really, I wrote it because I was like, wait till they see this. Like, I'm going to tell the whole world what they did to me and how awful they were.
Yeah.
And it was like a teenage girl, like venting in her diary that I was like, and then I'm going to make it public. No chill. almost 4 years later from when I wrote it, like, I don't give a shit about those guys. Like, I forget that they're even real people at this point. Like, all they are is a character in this film. But at the time, it was like, this is the worst heartbreak of my life. This is the most pain I've ever experienced. And everyone needs to know.
Do you think after like saying how you're so removed now from those people, do you think it was like definitely therapeutic for you to get all of that out there? I loved your comparison of like kind of like the diary going public. I thought that was like
Yeah, I mean, I think in a way it was sort of like an exorcism. I'd like to think even if I hadn't made the film, I would, as a 20-year-old, be over the guy that I like didn't even date when I was 16. Like, I would hope that would have happened anyways, but I squeezed every last drop of value out of that situationship possible. And I think it was for me like very therapeutic.
How does it feel watching it now?
God, I mean, it like it's funny. Like, there's definitely stuff where I go back and I'm like, oh, I wish I had done this different, or like, like petty things I did when I was making it because I was 18 that seemed really important to me, and definitely looking back, I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, I definitely, like, I'm in it, and when I watch myself, I'm like, oh no.
All actors, I think, are when they have to watch themselves over and over again.
I mean, at the time, like, whenever we were shooting my scenes, like, the only thing going through my head was like, I'm gonna look fat in this take. I'm gonna look ugly in this take. My double chin is going to be showing. That like no acting method was applied. I was literally just like, Mog, suck it. Um, you should have just cast someone else. Like you were not equipped to handle that. Um, like I was so insecure and so I mean I guess like I feel for myself watching it back and I cringe at myself and and the writing, you know, like I think I'll go back and I'll be like, oh, I wrote that, like good for me. And then other things I'm like, that's not funny. That's not funny. Why did you put that in there? I don't know. It's fun. Like, and film is so collaborative that like the thing I enjoy most watching it now that like never gets old for me is like all the colors that everyone else who worked on it added to it. Like the music by my incredible composer Josh Landau. Like the stuff he made. Like I never get tired of hearing that. And the gorgeous cinematography by my DP Brianna Mann. Like it's beautiful, like and all that stuff keeps it like I don't know, maybe fresh is not the word, but like keeps it rewarding to watch.
Keeps it alive, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
For people who don't know, how would you go about making an independent film, and also not only an independent film but a feature film from sort of start to finish in a very compact way? Could you explain how this specific film sort of went through all the stages?
Yeah, totally. I mean, every project is different. And for me it was kind of this like in the beginning this like blind determination to do it. Like I was gonna shoot it on my iPhone, to be honest. Like I just wanted to make it. And kind of like just talking about it, making people aware of it. Um, the community grew, you know, like people rallied around it, which I mean, I can't really wrap my head around why that happened, like other than to just like be so thankful and grateful that people believed in me, you
Yeah.
know. Like that's just such a big part of it is that I was just so lucky. From an outside perspective, I kind of was giving like a really delusional, really like inflated sense of what I could accomplish. Like just insane teenager being like, I'm gonna make a feature. I met Greta Gerwig and I told her that I was gonna make a feature. Like, and at that point, I was like still like had no money and had no like nothing. Um, and then she like was like, really? Like, she didn't say that. She was lovely, and she signed my copy of the Ladybird script to Sadie, go make your movies, and I like went and got it tattooed immediately. Like I was just like, this is happening. This I can't do anything else. And maybe you know, maybe I mean. I'm sure these people would say, no, it's not. Maybe they took pity on me and they were like, yeah, if she doesn't do this, like, what is she going to do? She's going to be on the streets. Like, for something that to me felt so specific and personal, um, a lot of people related to it. People like randomly, a lot of like men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s worked on this project that are like, that I would kind of assume would not fuck with the movie or like relate to it, and they're like some of its biggest supporters. And that community just kind of rallying together. I think the fact that it felt like a new voice, like a lot of people were like, oh, it's a Gen Z voice, that's not something that we've really seen before, that helped propel it forward as well. And the more people that got involved, you know, they brought their expertise and their connections, and then out came a movie. I don't even know. Like like when I showed up to set on day one and there was like a truck of equipment, I was like, whoa, when did we get here? How did this happen? Like, when we showed up to the premiere at the end of the day, I was like, I don't know what I just experienced. Like, I just was so lucky. Like, that's kind of how it happened.
Well, did you have like a casting process?
That was the casting process was a big learning curve for me that I think I would do. I think I would do it differently. I kind of just was like, you, and you. Like, let's do it. From like people I knew from school.
Yeah.
The like main, like the leads, like the lead girl and the two lead guys, like we only auditioned about 5 people per character. Because I'm like kind of antisocial, so that's all the people that I knew. For like a lot of the side characters, like I just filled it out with people that I loved who I like unfortunately like didn't fit the lead characters, like whether it was like age, or just like their personality. I was like, but I need them in the movie. Like I love them. So I wrote parts for them and kind of filled out the rest of the world of the film that way. There's cameos from all of the teachers that I had at Strasbourg who I love dearly. And the parents, that was something that was really exciting for me. Nadia Dejani, David Krumholtz, and Catherine Curtin play the parents of the lead characters, who, like, my parents are actors. My dad's, like, very involved in the indie film world and has been since forever. And we had both acted in this independent film called The Next Big One, directed by Ariel Kavusi, who I originally had wanted to be in the film, but then she couldn't do it because she's working on her own directorial debut. But she recommended it to Catherine Curtin, who I was like a huge fan of because I love, 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 love Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And it was for originally she was like reading the script to do a small role, but then she was like, "Hey, like, is the part of Carrie available? Like, could I do this bigger role?" I was like, "You can play the lead if you want. I'll change the whole film. I love you." And yeah, I mean, it was like kind of similar in the casting where people were just like down to do it. It was also like it was during like right before the SAG strike, so and because we were such an independent film, we could kind of continue working. But people weren't working, so they were like, "All right, I guess I'll slum it and do this film." But then like the whole process was almost like a summer camp. So I hope that they still had a good time doing it, even though it was like way below their pay grade.
That's amazing. Would you ever consider directing something that you didn't write or have so much control over? Is directing something you do want to like pursue, or would you say that acting is also sort of in your no?
No. Acting, no. If it's like, "Oh, I love these people and I want to be involved in this, and that's like the way that I can be involved in this,"
Yeah.
I'll do it, if someone was like, "Hey, do you want to be in this Western? You get to ride horses all day." I'd be like, "Totally." Or, something like that. But like the idea of like auditioning and busting my balls to be like an actor sounds like something I could not mentally handle. I don't know, writing is my number one. Like I if I really connected with something, maybe I would consider directing something I didn't write. But so much of my directing comes from writing.
Yeah.
Like I write so much from my life that half of my directing is just being like, "Yo, so this is like the details of what happened. Like this is what you need to know about the situation because I lived it." Like on set, my AD Bruce, he was like, "You're the only director I've ever worked with that doesn't carry a copy of the script around with them, like, all marked up." And I was like, "Oh shit, should I be doing that? Like, should I have a copy of the script? Like, do I seem like super unprofessional?" But I didn't. It never crossed my mind that I would need that because like I lived a lot of it, so I just knew. Like I had it all like in my mind so so strongly that like, and that's so much of my directing that I'm like, I almost can't imagine like if it was someone else's script, like what value would I even bring to that? I don't know.
You're like, what would I do?
But I mean, I've pitched for other scripts that I've been like, oh, I feel like I could add to this. But I don't know. Maybe if it was like if someone was like approached me and it was like a biopic of someone that I loved or like an adaptation of something that I loved,
Yeah.
that could be interesting.
Or if Greta was involved, I feel like then
I would literally do anything for her. If she was like, "Do you want to come clean my toilet?"
I mean, I hope we don't end up there. I hope you don't end up cleaning her toilet, but I do hope for you that you get to work with her someday. You directed, I believe, and possibly coordinated a documentary, existential hokey pokey. Am I right in saying?
Yes, I
Name?
did do that.
Is is like documentary filmmaking something that you would be interested in pursuing as well? Is that something that you
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that short doc I made in 2020. And it was just me and my camera. I was 15, so it's not very high quality. Um, that's just a disclaimer for if anyone watches it. But it's about my best friend Faye Ross. We met when we were like 7, I want to say. And she is like the funniest, craziest, like kindest person I know. And she has a lot to say. She's a lot to say, and she can say it in 12 languages. She's awesome.
that's
And she happens to
incredible.
have cerebral palsy,
Okay.
which has, you know, been something that she's had to deal with in her life and has caused discrimination and so I made this short documentary about her because I mean, really, like honestly, it has nothing to do with the fact that she has cerebral palsy, and more the fact that she has so much to say as a person. That just like because she has cerebral palsy, a lot of people don't listen to her, which pisses me off. So I was like, all right, let's make it tight 3 minutes and amplify your voice, girl. And she was down to do it. And so, yeah, actually, something I would love to do in the future is make a feature length version of that. So she speaks 12 languages. So ideally, I want me and her to travel around and go to a country, like every country where she speaks the language, essentially. And just kind of follow her journey because she's super cool.
That
That's
yes,
fascinating.
yes, she is.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Wow.
What I don't know if you probably do. Do you remember all the languages?
Well, obviously English, sign language, Mandarin, French, Spanish, Arabic, Portuguese, Hebrew, German. That's 9. I don't know that I remember the other 3.
Okay, if you don't remember the rest, that alone is
I don't even know more languages. Like, that's all the languages I know, like, that exist. But she speaks 3 more than that. She says it in the documentary. But
now have to watch. Where can we find it?
it's just on my Instagram right now. It's not, I mean, it's 3 minutes. It's like a short little thing. I made it 5 years ago, but hopefully another one is in the works, a longer version. If anyone wants to give me money to do that,
that's a good pitch, though. Like that's very, very fascinating.
Whatever people want to fund, I'll take your money, and I'll do it. She also she inspires me so much. She's kind of subliminally like the way that this film got made of me being like, I'm gonna do this and then it happening. It like comes from her because she's been told repeatedly that she can't do things or that she'll never be able to do things. Like when we met, she had to use like walking aids and would sometimes use a wheelchair, and she wanted to do the monkey bars. And that was something people were like, oh, she's not gonna be able to do it. So I would carry her on my shoulders back and forth across the monkey bars for like hours every day after school until she could do them by herself. And then she was like better at them than me after that. And she's like the queen of manifesting. Like she was like, I want to go to a little yellow school for school.
Mhm.
And then she ended up going to a little yellow school. Like how do you do that? How do you like manifest a whole building to exist for you? That's the type of person she is. She, there she decided she wanted to ski. She can ski. She could ski black diamonds now. She can like horseback ride. She's an incredible horseback rider. She'll be cantering like bareback. And this is someone who's like told, that her physical capabilities um wouldn't ever allow for those types of things.
Yeah.
And she's just continuously proving everybody wrong. She's so funny. She's so funny. Like she's the funniest person I know. She just comes up with these bits that I'm like, how did you think of that? Her most recent one is that she just starts air quoting random words. So we'll be like having a normal conversation and she'll be like, did you go to the store? And I'll be like, what are you talking about? She's like, the store. And she literally means the store. She's just being a nut. I love her.
How did you, with going back to If That Mockingbird Don't Sing, how did you land on this title?
The title was like the last thing that kind of fell into place.
Yeah.
Like, Bill Hopkins, the acting on camera teacher at Strasberg, he has like every version of the script and was like filming it in his class with like his students and under like 20 different titles. For like a long time, like it was just like untitled baby movie. That's like I didn't know. And then I was thinking like, okay, like baby related stuff, lullaby related stuff, and then of course it's like Hush Little Baby is the song. You not snore so well. And I'm like going through it in my head. I was like half asleep when I came up with this title. And like I remember texting one of the producers, like, what do you think of Hush Little Baby? Like, but I didn't really like that. That sounds like a horror movie. In a way. Actually, there is a horror movie called Mockingbird Don't Sing. But I guess I liked it because I mean it's egregiously long. It's like way too long. Everyone just calls it Mockingbird now. But if I had just named it that without the context, I think then it would have been too weird. I don't know. But If That Mockingbird Don't Sing, the whole plot of the song is that it's like, okay, if this doesn't work out, then I'm gonna jump ship to this, and if this doesn't do, then I'll do this, and that's kind of the film. And then A Mockingbird, it mocks, it copies. It like doesn't have a voice of its own, so it copies what it hears around it. And to me, the lead girl Sydney is like that represents her in a way. God, it like explaining it, I feel stupid and it feels pretentious. And like you have to remember, I was 18. I didn't know what else to call it. My mom wanted me to name the film "What's Up, Sydney," and I wasn't going to do that. So, and yeah.
No, I think that's great, and I think it is a catchy title, and I definitely think it suits the film. So
I didn't even think about this. Are you pushing me? Okay. But I mean, Lady Bird, like I think there's something about birds and young women coming of age that really just makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like they find their wings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of
Totally.
Do you have any specific scenes or moments from the film that are like your favorites? Like now that you watch it back, you're like, wow, I just love this scene so much, but I guess my other question that sort of connects to that is, do you have one that during filming was your favorite that maybe isn't your favorite now watching back? Or are they both the same? Is it like your favorite one filming is the favorite one that ended up in the film?
I think a lot of the band stuff was so fun to film. I mean, I love music. I love a rock star. And so that stuff was super fun. And a little bit more in line. I think like my literal dad gave me like a purple shirt the other day, and he was like, "This is your favorite color, right?" Because of the movie. And if you know me in real life, well, which my dad does, so maybe I've taken it too far, but like I'm very much like I collect taxidermy and I'm like witchy and scary. My favorite color is black. But like a lot of it has this very like girly purple aesthetic because I didn't something that was important to me is I didn't like the idea that like um in order for a film to be like taken seriously, it couldn't also be feminine.
Yeah.
And like um so I was like, I'm gonna make a girly movie. Um Even though, my personal tastes doesn't exactly align with that. But the band stuff is like the kind of grungier, like, albeit it's like super cringe in the movie, intentionally cringe. um, that stuff was super fun and like super up my alley. Anything I got to shoot with Nadia and David and Kathy was like such a pleasure. Yeah, that stuff was definitely the most fun on set. And then in the actual movie, it was the worst day of my life when we were shooting it because I hadn't slept in like 30 hours.
No.
But like the opening of the film is like this beautiful sunrise.
Yeah.
And like, I'll tell you, I was having a day. It looks beautiful. And when I watch it, I'm like, wow, it looks great. So that stuff for sure. And the this isn't really a spoiler, but when she gives birth,
Yeah.
there's like a little gag right before that where like we had to shave this guy's head. Shout out Dave for letting us shave his head.
Yes, Dave.
And that I love that part, and I love like the song that plays over that sequence. It's my dad's band actually, and it was the ending credits song of the film, the first short film I ever made when I was 8. So that part always like is fun to watch and nice to watch.
I love it. I am so sorry, but I have to circle back. You mentioned taxidermy. I mean, I know you outside of this interview, and we went to the same school, but I don't think I've ever spoken to you about your taxidermy interests. And I gotta know, how does one get into that?
I've always been interested in it. Like as a child, you'd be like, "Do you want to be a fair?" I love being fair. Or like that was me as a kid. And I just never let go of that. So, I mean, you can see I have Miss Henrietta right here. That's Larry. Um, I don't know. I just love it. I think like for me, taxidermy, it's no weirder than like here's my pet's ashes. I burn its corpse and now here's a jar of its ashes. Like that's weird. Like why is that normal and like a very lovely and well taken care of stuffed piece of taxidermy is considered strange. I think it reminds me, like, if you've done it, probably, I'm guessing you haven't, but when you're like skinning an animal, you're like, damn, like your skin just peels right off. Like there is very little separating like your insides and your outsides. So, you know, as a young woman, that definitely helps me not be so superficial. And as a person, it helps me, really appreciate my time. Um, and, kind of be like, all right, this is a vehicle that I'm borrowing to experience Earth, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, and also it's cool. I think it's cool. I'll show you. I have right here. I have one that I made. Girl rat girl. Okay,
I'm ready.
it's in two pieces.
You know what this is giving me, Sadie? Take it.
I mean,
it's giving me Toy Story.
you're not the first person to say that. But doesn't she kind of look just like me?
Similar.
Oh my god, twins.
And then so
That's a good perspective to have, though. Right after you said that, I've looked at that completely differently.
I mean, at least the taxidermy, it looks like them. If you look at like pet memorials, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have that than like a jar of their burnt body.
I'm so surprised that we started with like what about taxidermy is so interesting, and you gave us this whole story, and then you're like, but we're renting this body that we're in, and I was like, whoa, this is like really profound and like so real. And honestly, now I'm thinking about that and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
My perspective that I've come to, it's maybe not everyone's first thought, but something to consider. And speaking of all of that, I do have another film in the works that explores some of that stuff, and hopefully, and the aim of that next film is to give a deeper view and understanding of that perspective and of the way that we view death and dying, including like what we do with bodies and what that all means. So you can look forward to that in the future. Hopefully.
That's very exciting. I have two more questions. One is, what is your, favorite is always tough. So I'm going to say your favorite today, right now at this moment, because it might change tomorrow and it might change in an hour. What is your favorite indie film?
Favorite indie? Okay.
It's such a tough question.
There are a lot, but I'll say like I have to mention this one because I think I owe so much to it. And but Waitress, written and directed by Adrian Shelley, is like a huge one for me. I'm super inspired by her, and she's so funny and talented, and it's like a fucking tragedy what happened to her, and awful. God, I wish I could have seen the movies that she would have made. But Waitress is just such a beautiful exploration of what it means to be a woman. And she said that in the film, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are also familiar with the musical, but whether it's from the film or the musical, the lead character is a baker, and she makes these. She's a waitress, but she makes these pies. And Adrian said that the pies were like a metaphor for her screenplays, and how like all of these like bad things that happened to her, she turned them into these beautiful, delicious films, and that really resonates with me. And of course, they're both films about pregnant people, and yeah, so I would say that's my favorite.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And then our last question is, Sadie, where can we find this movie? You said that it'll be distributed. Do you know where it will be distributed? Where it will be?
So I cannot say that yet, but I can say that you will be able to watch it at home very, very soon, sooner than you think.
It was awesome, and especially what you talked about earlier, like, with it being therapeutic and real, you felt that while watching it, like,
Mm.
all the characters felt very authentic, nothing felt out of the ordinary,
No.
and you really connected with a lot of the people, so well done, and it was a great film.
Who will be our first guest on this segment that we're doing called Uncorked, which is going to be on YouTube. But we'll send you all the information and there'll be things on Instagram about it as well. But I want to thank you for being so kind, for giving us your time, and just, yeah, for being our first guest.
Yeah,
It was
thank
great.
Thank you so much for having me. I have a question for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Right, plot
Well, if your whole thing, right, is you do like a wine pairing, so what wine would you pair with Mockingbird
Ooh.
or beverage? I turned 21 in the end of this month, so give me the recommendations, you guys.
I feel a bubbly wine. Are you feeling that? Maybe we're on two completely different journeys here.
I don't know, and it's funny that when we talk about the pairings, like, I feel like it could be totally random, like, we
Yeah.
could walk into a store and just see something. I think bubbly could work.
I'm feeling a bubbly. They have orange wines, which are really different. And I feel like because your film is quite unique, and I feel like it's got some fizz to it and it's fun and playful, I would probably go with that. I don't have a specific brand, but I'll send you a brand.
A bubbly orange wine. I like it.
I feel like that works. But
I think so.
There is a vampire wine that you need to try. And I believe if you order it from their website, they send it to you in a coffin. So I think that's your next order.
Okay, yeah, you send me all the information about this vampire wine, and that one will be for my next film. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.